Hello, Ali. I have just finished doing the edits and I will be sending it across to you in the email. I just wanted to do the critique via video just so it will give you a better understanding of um, the overall documents design and the sequence and the structure that might need some revision. Um, so First of all, the title, I just wanted to suggest some other titles because the title that is being used at the moment, I know that it needs to have staffing agency or using a staffing agency as the main keyword. But just to restructure it better, I think the element of putting the customer first in everything is the key. So I have suggested it as how to grow your business with the help of a staffing agency, or you can use how to support your business by using a staffing agency. And just to see if that works better, I checked it in the Go Schedule headline analyzer, which actually helps you understand if the headline is more powerful in terms of readability and structure, as well as SEO. So as you can see that the headline that I've suggested, it's scoring better than the headline that is currently being used. So that's the first thing. The in terms of the colors used, they are on brand, so that's completely fine. The images used are good as well. Now coming to the section, which is the second page. So suddenly from the first page, which is the portrait, the format of the document has changed, and then it is now landscape. So essentially, this should have a break in the middle, and these should be two pages. So the Y column, this should be one page, and the best way to recruit this should be the second page. And it should follow the same sequence just so it looks consistent. At this moment, it looks unprofessional. Secondly, if when I try to print it out, it's not coming out properly. So I know that it's a digital document and people are probably read it online, but at the same time, sometimes people do like to print it out and read it that way. So it does not look very professional if it's that way. So it needs to have consistency in terms of the design. So most of the time, the documents, the ebooks, digital assets, they are in the portrait if they're in the PDF format. So they're easier to read as well. That's just my suggestion. So we can just break the page here. In terms of what should come next after the title page, I think there should be a section which outlines the document. So basically, contents. So it just says contents, and then give the headings of whatever is inside. So, for example, for this one. Uh, so for example, the best way to recruit. So if that's the first heading, and then it should just say best way to recruit, then why, then how to choose the right. So basically, just giving the outline of the sections which are going to come in the book. So that gives like a more professional approach to it. There's just more professional approach to it. Anyways, the next thing is how they are structured. So basically, what should come first and what should come second. So because the title of the book says how to um, support your business by using a staffing agency. So the first section should be about why they should use a staffing agency rather than who who are temporary workforce or why they should hire one. Um, it just makes more sense to have this section first, the best way to recruit section first, and then move on to the other section, which is why they should hire the temporary workforce. And then the reasons you may need to hire temporary workforce, which is here, this should come after the why section. So the best way to recruit would be the first, and then why, and then the reasons. In terms of the stat which is given here, it's fine. It's just that it needs to have a proper referencing. So this is not the way it should be done. It should be hyperlinked, and it should say source. I don't see any numbering of the pages. It should be in the footer somewhere around here. Um, and then, so instead of how to choose the right agency, I think I've mentioned it as to put it as top 10 reasons to choose why you should choose the right agency, something along those lines. And then making them into instead of bullet points, use the numbering, because that makes more sense if you're doing it's just more easy on the eyes, and it's more easily scannable. Again, the restructuring of the document is necessary. So, for example, over here, there is a survey which is given about the criteria used by employers to select an agency. So this should essentially be where we are talking about why they should choose an agency. So the best way to put it would be somewhere around here, the best way to recruit, so that it could go over there instead of here, because it doesn't really make sense, because it's given in next to the legal responsibilities, which has nothing to do with why they should select what agency. Instead of the legal responsibilities, because it outlines a number of factors, I've changed it to other factors that they need to consider. In terms of the whole document, in terms of the readability, it's full of grammatical errors, and I have suggested a lot of rephrasing, spotted a lot of grammar errors, and sentence revisions need to be done. A lot of fluff that needs to be removed. It needs to be more tight, more concise, more professional writing. In terms of why they should choose Swanstaff, the 4 reasons given are good. I think the 5th should be national coverage. This should also be part of that. So it should be 5 reasons. But the thing is that are these good enough to convince the prospective client that they should choose Swanstaff and not our competitors? So it needs to be strong enough to bring out that element. When I look at the competitors, they are also using similar reasons, so to say. So how can we differentiate us? That's the key thing. So basically, this page really needs to convince them that that's the whole point of this document, to basically convince them to actually call Swanstaff or choose Swanstaff over other suppliers. So you need to think really hard on what is the value proposition here, and what is the value that we are bringing for our clients that others are not doing. I think that maybe we can highlight the element of doing charity work, because that brings it's not directly related as a feature of the service that Swanstaff provides, but it definitely highlights the element of sympathy. So basically evoking sympathy in the client's mind that this is the company that it's not just providing the service, but it's also actually passionate about the industry itself. It actually cares about the industry and about doing community work and charity work. So that could be one of the reasons to kind of bring our brand forward and give it a bit of personality, so to say. Um, so I think that's, yeah. With this image over here and the choose an agency made up of experts who put quality service first. So I didn't understand really, why is this a quotation? Is this somebody who of is some of your client that has said that, or if not, if you're just making a statement, it's more telling rather than showing. So the first rule of thumb when we do writing is basically we don't want to do that. We basically want to do the opposite. We do show, not tell. So the show is already here. The for is our client choose us. So we don't need to really put this. This doesn't give a good impression, in my opinion. Um, Now, um, coming to the button, it's not hyperlinked, so I couldn't really see where it is, where this page is, where the click is landing. Like, where is it landing on the website? Which landing page you're using to capture the leads? So the hyperlinks should be there, but I'm thinking it's the draft, so maybe that's the reason they're not there. So other than that, all my comments are in the document, which I'll be sending you across. And I hope you like my suggestions. Thank you.